Hey guys, Twintuitive 717 here. I wanted to come on quickly and share an update with the collective. I'm picking up on the masculines here, and I feel like they want to speak. They want to let the divine feminines know how they're feeling, what's on their minds right now. I'm picking up that there's a lot of masculines that want to make a move. They want to initiate communication again, even if it is starting off as friendly, as very casual. A lot of them just really want to start over. Rekindle is the word I keep getting. They want to rekindle the flame, the passion between you two. Since they've been away from you, divine feminine, I feel like a lot of them have done a lot of reflecting, and the love is hitting them like never before. Like I shared in past readings, the emotions are coming back. The telepathy it's more present. They actually catch themselves in conversation practicing what they would say to you if they were to reach out. So many of them might be like typing out messages, and they're not hitting the send button because for them it's like, okay, no, that doesn't sound right. And so like that's the type of mode they're in. It's like the Page of Cups in this deck, where he's crumpling up the paper and he keeps tossing it away. Now, the interesting energy also that I'm receiving from the feminines is that many of your masculines may be holding back because they can sense or they can pick up on the fact that you may not be ready to engage with them romantically, or not even romantically, but it's like I feel like the masculines are coming from a place of like wanting to come in and really seal the deal type of thing. And it's really frustrating for a lot of them because they know that you're also very intuitive feminine, and you know that they're also very intuitive. So I feel like what's coming through is that the feminine already knows the masculine's intentions, but he's going to try to play it off as he's just coming through as casual, just wanting to say hi, just to check up on you. But really what I feel like he wants to do in this case, or when I say he, whoever's in the masculine energy, they want to like test the waters a little bit. It's almost like they want to play it off like they're just coming in as friends, but really on the inside it's like they're just longing to like connect with you again, hear your voice, just check up on you is what I'm getting. Okay. But they're also picking up too that like you just want to enjoy your freedom at this time. Like I feel like a lot of divine feminines have done a lot of inner work, and you guys are now in a place where you're enjoying your independence or your solitude, or a lot of you just find yourselves feeling like you aren't really interested in getting into any type of relationship or any type of like romantic connections right now. You're just happy enjoying your own space, your solitude. But what this is doing in turn is it's making a lot of these divine masculines feel very drawn to you, because I think it's an attractive energy when you're in that place of self-love. Divine feminine, you're enjoying your own company, you're starting to feel like you can give yourself everything that you need, and that your connection with your counterpart is sort of like the cherry on top, or it's just like the bonus. But I mean, like I feel like a lot of you are just kind of feeling really content with the fact that you have done so much work to feel good in your aloneness, if that makes sense. I think that your loneliness turned into, like, because you guys felt lonely at one point, you had no choice but to go on this journey with your masculines. You yourself, divine feminine, had to get through a lot of karmic situations on your end. And then also watching the masculines kind of go through their own karmic situations. I feel like a lot of you chose not to fight for your counterpart. Many of you started realizing that divine timing was at work. And that's why I'm wanting to use the romance angels for this reading here, is because a lot of you felt like, you know what? it's important for me to spend time on myself, invest in myself right now. And if this dynamic between me and this person is meant to be, it'll be there. It'll be inevitable type of thing. Okay, so let's find out what your masculines want you to know right now. Like, this reading is all about how the divine masculine is feeling towards you, divine feminine. Okay, so we have past life relationship, and yeah, love yourself first. That's exactly why they're feeling the relationship or the connection between you guys so strongly right now. I think that the more the divine feminine steps into this energy of putting herself first, loving herself, she becomes more romantically attractive. That's what I'm saying. Like, you guys wanting your freedom right now, it's part of loving yourself. It's part of enjoying your own company. It's part of, I don't know, like, what I'm picking up on is, like, there's feminines out there right now, and you guys are just having a good time. Like, even if your masculine's indulging in karmic situations, like, whatever the case is, you guys are just eating popcorn and enjoying the show type of thing. And I think that it took a lot of you some time before you were able to enjoy that feeling, because there were moments where the loneliness felt very dark. And now that you have mastered solitude, I feel like you're unstoppable. Like, there's nothing anybody at this time can do to trigger you, because you've mastered the art of self-love. And, like, that's what I'm feeling. Like, I feel like a lot of you have been tested in terms of karmic situations trying to trigger you, and you've even surprised yourself in terms of how you reacted. I feel like you're just so full of love, and when you're full of love, you can't help but wish the best for other people. You know what I mean? Like, it's like you have so much more compassion, so much more empathy when you fill your own cup. And that's what I feel like many divine feminines are experiencing right now, and that's what's making you so romantically attractive to your masculines. That's why they want to come forward. But it's like this double-edged sword feeling, because it's like they're craving to come forward because of this energy that you're in, but at the same time, they know that you're not just going to let them in just like that, you know? So past life relationships, you have known each other before. I feel like many masculines are having this type of spiritual epiphany, and that's why they're starting to see that they always cycle back to you, divine feminine. Like, even, yeah, as I cut the deck there, we have the Ace of Wands. There's always like this new cycle that begins no matter how many times you both try to run from this connection. I feel like after a lot of healing, growth, maturity, and things like that, you both always end up back in this position, specifically the divine masculine really hovering over the feminine, relaxing over here, right? Because again, you guys are in this like self-care, self-love, glowing up, enjoying your solitude, enjoying your independence. Many of you are not codependent on another person for your happiness. And I feel like that's why a lot of suitors are coming your way, divine feminine, because you're starting to attract people on the same vibration. But with the masculine hovering over her here in this card, a lot of the fire in the background there, I feel like he's like, no, like, that's mine. Like, that's my lady, you know, like, that's my divine feminine. And so your masculines may be paying attention to like the finer details right now in your connection. So let's say you guys are doing your thing on social media, or you guys are back on the scene. Remember how I shared that reading? You guys are back on the scene, just kind of doing your thing, extending your light-hearted energy to other people. Your masculine may be really like caught up with like being really fixated on things like who's liking your posts, and like, you know, they might notice someone liking your post that it's like they're tempted to now go check out this person's profile, and like they're finding themselves doing things like that right now, okay? Because again, they're thinking about you really passionately now that you are in this place. What else do they want you to know, divine feminine? Ooh. Feel like there's so much they want you to know. Universe, please give us specific messages. What do the masculines want the feminines to know right now? There's that 3 of Wands that came up earlier. in the other reading. Okay, so they see you as the Empress. So whenever you're full of self-love, even like compassion for your masculine and his karmic situation, and just empathy and sympathy, you're just so full of love right now. And I feel like that's because you're pouring into your own cup, and this is what you're showing up as to your divine masculine. Like, the fact that you haven't been triggered by karmic situations, you're in this Empress energy now, and I feel like that's where this attraction is coming from. You're unstoppable, divine feminine. You embody such grace, just such integrity, and I feel like a lot of your masculines are feeling this pull to match your energy here. Like, I think that when the masculines observe you doing your own thing, you're not bothered, you're not triggered by anything, it makes them really curious about your energy, divine feminine. And not only curious, but it's like it makes them want to be everything that you would desire. Okay. And sometimes too, a lot of these masculines might find themselves still tying up themselves in karmic situations, because a lot of you guys don't know that that's how they try to get your attention, divine feminine. And I think that was maybe an energy or an obstacle for you, that had that energy that needed healing, like maybe jealousy or possessiveness, or feeling like, no, that's my masculine. But the more you guys kind of like let go of those types of like patterns or that way of thinking, and you're just more like free with your energy, like you do what you need to do, and you allow other people to live their life and do their thing, like regardless of what's going on. Like, if that's the decision you want to make, please go and enjoy yourself. And because you've embodied this type of energy, it's like, I feel like they just want to match that. Like, they are seeing now that it's like, that's the type of person that they want to be with. They want to be with this Empress who is so confident and not dependent. And yeah, that's what I was going to say, because in the past they would use karmic energies to like trigger jealousy and stuff like that. I feel like that was like a lot of root chakra stuff that you were dealing with, divine feminine, in this Empress energy here. Now that you're here, like, you don't get triggered because you've done a lot of healing around your root chakra. So like any type of like feelings of like jealousy or getting triggered, or having like the masculine and the karmic throw you off your game, like, I feel like many masculines are realizing that it's like they can't trigger you in that way anymore, because you've healed the part of you that responds to like being insecure or jealous. Because in the past, I feel that many of you, when you did get triggered, you started asking yourself, like, where does this come from? Why do I feel this way? And the more you started to do that, the more you started to step into this Empress energy. And now it doesn't matter like what types of games your masculine is playing, they'll also learn to heal from doing these types of things, because it again no longer has an effect on you, divine feminine. So they might catch themselves asking like, okay, what next? Like, where do I go now? And so that leaves them with just themselves and the karmic situations, right? This Justice card keeps wanting to come up. And I think like that's the justice that's really wanting to come through here. It's like, now that the divine feminine is not there stirring the pot because she's no longer triggered, like, I feel like a lot of you have like the intuition and the heads up about these karmic situations, so you don't actually go and physically get yourself involved or entangled. You more just observe from afar. And the justice here that's coming through is that many of you have left the divine masculine to deal with their own karmic lessons without you getting involved. And now that they're there and they're dealing with it, I feel like it's boring without the divine feminine in the masculine's life, especially if there's a karmic involved. It's just boring without the divine feminine's presence. And that's what many of you started realizing, which is why a lot of you, when there were any kind of karmic situations arising, you guys would just fall back because you realize, Divine Feminines, that your presence would add fuel to the fire. So yeah, these are all insights I feel like your Divine Masculine wants you to know that's going on behind the scenes. We have the Six of Swords here coming through. I feel like this masculine is wanting to do anything to get to you at this point, Divine Feminine. The sexual pull for them too is very strong because you are embodying such unconditional love within yourself. And it's very healing to them too, because not only do they want to come towards you, but they want to come towards you in like this really pure way. And when I say pure, I mean like they want to come towards you and like divulge, like they want to divulge and tell you a lot of truth and where they've been and what they've been doing, and like they want to connect with you so much to the point where they're willing to be like honest about everything that's been going on in their life. And I feel like this is the conversation that you two will have, where it lets the Divine Feminine know just how on point her intuition has been. And so what ends up happening is the next time you guys experience any kind of separation or anything like that, the Divine Feminine becomes less and less fearful, and she worries and she engages in karmic situations because of the triggers. I feel like the more you guys get into this loving yourself first, into this Empress energy, it's just easier to deal with separation when it does end up coming up the next time around, because you start realizing that it is about this growth and this healing that the Divine Feminine and Masculine tend to bring to each other's life. Okay, so we have nature. Okay, so this is a really good card right now for those of you who are getting confirmation of the Empress and love yourself first. It's like the more you do that, the more romantically attractive you become, the more you start seeing your way, less and less obstacles you start experiencing. Continue to embody this energy by getting out in nature. In past readings, I've talked a lot about connecting with birds and connecting with animals. Another message too that's coming through with nature is, now that the weather's like warming up in certain parts of the world, or if you guys are already in places where it's warm, make sure that you guys are taking time out to breathe very deeply, especially if, again, karmic triggers are coming up. You know that you're trying to heal from it. Many of you might just be feeling anxious with just a lot on your plate right now, even in your own individual lives, whether it has to do with like your family, your job, your financial situation. A lot of you aren't meant to stay stuck in these types of karmic connections, like whether it's on your side or the masculine side. And if you guys really want to gain clarity about your situations, whether it's on your masculine side or on your side when it comes to karmic stuff, get out in nature. Stay away from like devices and technology, because what it does is it messes with your focus, right? So the more you guys tend to ignore subconscious messages about being alone with your thoughts and meditate and, you know, again, get out in nature. It sounds so cliche when we say it, right? It's like, oh yeah, like what's that going to do? What it's going to do is it's going to give you the divine messages that you need to get, and it's going to give you the clarity. When you guys start spending time on your own out in nature near the birds and stuff like that, you guys will be surprised at the types of thoughts that end up popping into your head. They end up answering questions you've had, validating intuitive thoughts. You'll start seeing that the more you spend time out in nature and alone with your own thoughts, you guys won't even need to tune into readings. Like your intuition will be telling you everything you need to know, and then the cards just become a matter of validating things that you guys already have seen. You've already gotten visions about and messages about. And the more you spend time in nature, you'll also start trusting that those messages are divine messages that you're getting, because you're out there and you're alone. There's no distractions, there's no TV. Oh, maybe I got the idea from this show I watched. Or you know what, maybe that thought is coming from like this song that I saw on YouTube. It's like none of that stuff is going to have any type of effect. It's just going to be you, the trees, the birds, the air. Like that's it. So the message is coming through. You guys are going to be able to trust them a lot more strongly as well. All right. I hope you guys have enjoyed this one. Take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you in the next one. Okay. Bye, guys.